sensation. I can see a new generation. Open it up in front of my eyes. Can you feel it in their feet? Can you see them on the streets now? Open it up in front of your eyes. If you feel that it's right, then do it right. If you think that it's wrong, put it down in a song.
Hi, welcome to TVF. Today we're interviewing Mick Walker, who's a notorious man on the West Midlands music scene. I'd like to start off today with asking you a few questions about your history in the music industry in general in this area, from roughly when you started to where we are now and all the history in between.
Well, I started in 77 thanks to the punk scene. Saw a few punk bands and thought, I can do this, I can write songs like this. Because I'd never written a song up until I saw the Pistols, basically. Formed a punk band, as you know. We played with Neon Arts a few times at the Raglan years ago. The Injectors, that was the Injectors, yeah. And we eventually split. We had a big bust up, rolled the van over and all sorts of things, and Rog packed it in, and that was the bass player. Formed the Circles with Keith, your drummer from your old band, and got a record deal with Phonogram. Well, Graduate first, with same label as UB40. We were both on the same label.
How did that come about?
The manager was managing a friend of mine, and he came, our very first gig at the Raglan, he came to have a listen and said he wanted to sign us right away. Yeah. And we went over to his house, signed up. He got us a deal with Graduate, with Dave Ver, and UB40. We did a couple of gigs with them down London.
So you were on the same label as UB40 originally?
Yeah, oh yeah. Cool. It was quite exciting days at the time. It was brilliant. Remember we did our first gig with them at the Rock Gardens, and we were waiting for them to turn up for them. They obviously wanted to sound check first. And I remember opening the shutters of the van and being knocked out by dope. Amazing. I didn't need a joint that day. I just sat in the van for an hour.
So Camden Rock Garden was a big venue at that time, wasn't it, for bands kind of showcasing in London?
Yeah, but the other gig was the Music Machine as well.
Yeah.
We did that with that, but they were really good, full houses as well. We eventually come off Graduates. What happened was we played a gig down Crystal Palace, and two guys from Chrysalis Records, the head of Chrysalis Records, they came to the Palace gig. Came in the dressing room, and we went down a storm, really, because it was just a pure mod audience. And they asked us when our next gig was, and it happened to be at the Laugh. Well, we played the Laugh every other Sunday. Dexys had it one Sunday, we played it the following Sunday. It was just mod Sundays like that.
The Lafayette in Wolverhampton.
It was absolutely rammed. Yeah. In fact, one of the picture sleeves on the second single shows the audience at the Laugh, and they were on one another's shoulders all round the balcony. Yeah. And it was rammed, and they were there. They came to see us, came in the dressing room, and said, "We want to sign you." This was Chrysalis Records, and we, wow. Cool. And we'll be seeing you in the week. You're coming down in the week, and we're going to sign you.
What year was this?
No, 1980. We bought our second single out by then. Okay. And
so we were just at the end of the original punk thing and going into the new wave.
That's right.
The mod revival.
We were in right at the beginning, the mod thing. Yeah. And it just didn't materialise for some unknown reason. I've heard stories, but I've got to be careful what I say, because I don't know whether they're true or not. But I've heard something like the manager at the time was asking for a stupid amount of money to sign, to buy us out a Graduate, so they could have us. And I don't know how true it is, but what's gone's gone. You can't do much about it.
There's always someone in the background ready to screw it up for you.
Absolutely. But anyway, we carried on, and the mod scene started to peter out a bit, and we were playing to less and less audiences, and I was getting a bit bored with it and brassed off. And I just remember we played a gig at Norbury Castle at Blackpool, and I was stuck in the dressing room on my own. I hadn't got any money. The rest of the guys had gone down the town, and I remember phoning my missus up and saying, "I've had enough, I'm finished." And we played the Lafayette the following week, and that was my last gig. I walked out, never to return again.
Really?
Yeah. Halfway through the tour, and I just jacked it in.
So things got that bad. Was it the pressure of the record label, or was it just things
that was
not
a
working out? Or?
Yeah, it contributed a lot because I was so disappointed and let down because one minute you think I'm signing to Chrysalis Records, and the next minute you're not.
Yeah.
And Phonogram didn't really push us. They didn't put any money into us at all. And I think we only did one single with them.
It sounds like another band I know. Or several.
Anyway, we split, and things went on and on. One day I bought a catalogue of just albums. You could send off for albums. I forget what it's called now. And I noticed a mod compilation album in this catalogue, and one of our tracks was on it. The second single was on it. So I ordered this song. I ordered this CD, and when I got it, the record company's phone number was on there. This was like, when was it? 15 years after we'd split.
Yeah.
1998. Yeah, definitely. And I phoned the record company up and said, "Hi, it's Mick Walker here from the Circles." And he says, "Wow," he said, "we've been trying to contact you." He says, "I suppose you're after some royalties, aren't you?" I says, "Well, it would help."
Yeah.
But cut a long story short, I had a tape. He said, would you think of doing an album? I says, "No, mate, I ain't interested." I said, "But I've got a tape of one of our last gigs. If you want to tart it up, and I'll send it off to you." And we did. Me, Keith, and Martin and Rog got together, tarted it up, and sent it off. And they pressed an album and some CDs.
Okay.
And then the next thing I know, I have a phone call off a guy called Paul Robinson, who was a music promoter, and he was putting together Mods Mayday 1999 there in London, where I think there was about 15 bands on over 2 days. Fantastic weekend, unbelievable weekend. People from everywhere, Japan, Spain, Germany, America. It was just unbelievable. And playing there in front of that audience and going down so well. I mean, a lot of people said we were one of the best bands on the day, and we were the only band there that never made Top of the Pops. All the rest that played on that gig were all sorts of TV superstars. Ian Page, Secret Affair, The Chords. They were all sorts of big name bands.
Yeah. So what was the lineup of the band? Was it a scratch lineup, or was it a original lineup? Or?
There was me and Keith, the only original members of the Circles. Me and Keith. We had a young kid on bass, and Martin, who used to be the sound engineer and who played guitar for Neon Arts, as you know.
Yeah.
He played guitar for us, and eventually that was the lineup. And I met Rog, my old bass player, bumped into him and said, "Look, we've got a few gigs. You fancy playing bass for us?" Because this kid was like not really up to it. I think you saw him when we played Outer Limits. The kid, we got rid of him and got Rog back in. And I suppose now me and Rog are like the only original members of the band, which sort of evolved out of the Injectors, basically.
Yeah.
We played a few gigs in '99, and I got disillusioned again, playing in front of like 20, 30 people, travelling to Liverpool on a Saturday night. Not many there, so we split again. And funnily enough, we're back together again.
Feel a new sensation.